everybody, this is Rosa here, and I am coming to you today to give you my top 3 reads in the murder, mystery, suspense genre. Now, my purpose in doing this video is, as an avid reader, I tend to fall into a borderline depression after I finish a great read. When I read a book that's just awesome and amazing, like I find myself on this mission, you know, for the next high, if you will. You know, I have this insatiable thirst, and I'm struggling to find something that's going to keep that high for me. So what I wanted to do was just give you my top 3. These are surefire reads. If you are just looking for something that's going to be thoroughly entertaining, you won't see the endings coming, you're going to be on the edge of your seat, these books are it. I guarantee you, okay? So number 3, okay, is a book called Brother. It's by Anaya Aborn, and I hope I pronounced that correctly. But this book is basically about this murderous family that live on the outskirts of wherever, and they, as a family, are killing young women. And so basically what happens is the younger brother, he decides he doesn't want to do it anymore. He meets someone and he wants out. Now, unfortunately, his family has no intentions of stopping this, you know, this murderous rampage they're on, and nor do they intend on letting him out. Even though, like, I think he's getting older and can leave home or whatever, but they're not going to allow that. So we get to kind of, you know, dive into the minds of these crazy, insane people, and kind of like, you know, and it was a fun read. It was difficult because it was very gory and gruesome, and I'll say that, you know, if you are, you know, if you're faint at heart or you're squeamish, I don't recommend it. But if you just want to be entertained and you love a good story, read it. It is amazing. The end had my jaw dropped. And in fact, I clapped at the end of this book. I was alone, and I literally gave the book a round of applause. That's how amazing it was. And I love, love, love a good ending and something that's not predictable. So that is that one. Number 2 on my list was a book by Catherine Croft. And this is the cover, The Girl You Lost. This book was amazing as well. Now, this was a psychological thriller, which are super fun because, you know, you have like, they tend to have like really rich subplots, and this book had just that. In short, and I'm not going to give you any spoilers, I promise. In short, our main character, she is like a newscaster or something like that, and so 18 years prior to the start of this book, her daughter was kidnapped, and when she was like 6 months, so, you know, baby kidnapped, and she has a husband. So she and her husband, you know, have dealt with this loss for 18 years. So fast forward, okay, and this girl out of the blue 18 years later comes to her and says, you know, I'm your daughter. And there's something about this girl that she can't, you know, quite put her finger on. Her husband is telling her, you know, basically, honey, let's, you know, chill out. Let's take our time, baby steps here. There have been people in the past who have claimed to have knowledge of her whereabouts and information and all these things, and these things that they don't pan out. So the husband is kind of saying, you know, let's just take our time here. So while they're trying to navigate and figure out, you know, is this girl who she says she is, and does she have ulterior motives, this girl named Grace goes missing. So now we have, you know, another layer, and this book had so many layers. It was absolutely amazing. Now, the petty person in me, the reason that this book was number 2 and not number 1, because it was neck and neck. The author, Catherine Croft, is from London, I believe. So they write a little differently. The way they structure their sentences, even the way they spell things. For example, the word realized, like, you know, I just realized I forgot to go to the grocery store. Well, realized there would be with an S. Whereas ours is with a Z. So when I'm reading that, you know, those kind of things, I'm kind of like, you know, it kind of bothers me and it stops me in my tracks as I'm, you know, trying to entertain myself. So that is something that, you know, bothers me But you know, for most, again, you know, it's not a big deal. Like I said before, can be a little petty when it comes to reading. But anyway, amazing story. This is another one where you're not going to see the storyline unfolding. You're not going to be able to guess what's happening next. And that to me is priceless. This book, I cried, I laughed. It was just a roller coaster of emotions. It was awesome. So heavily recommend that. Lastly, my number one pick, An Untamed State by Roxane Gay. This book made me want to go meet Roxane and shake her hand. This book was so well written. It's just ridiculous. And the book takes place in Haiti, and Haiti is a very impoverished place. So basically what the natives have done is they have began to kidnap the family members of the few affluent people there. And what they do is they kidnap them and then they hold them for ransom. And so they kidnap this woman named Muriel, who is our main character. And basically her father is this rich, powerful man. In addition to being rich and powerful, he is very stubborn. So he refuses to negotiate. He tells the kidnappers, you know, do what you have to. I won't negotiate. And basically, I'm not giving you anything. And he doesn't. So 13 days this woman is in captivity. And again, no spoiler here. I think this information is in the synopsis. But 13 days she's held captive. Now, this again this one, like the first, is a very difficult read in terms of content, because it's very explicit, and the things that she endures while she's in captivity, they're terrible and awful. So, you know, if you have any experiences with mental or physical abuse or anything like that, definitely do not read this book. But again, for entertainment purposes, this book was amazing. This is another one where I cried, I laughed, I celebrated. I actually lost blocks of time with this book. I was transcended into Haiti, and I would like look up and have to remember, oh yeah, I'm, you know, in my living room and I kind of need to cook dinner now. So that's what this book did for me. Absolutely amazing. So the other interesting thing about this book, I will say, we get to walk with her through the aftermath, and that's not something that I've ever read with these types of books. So that was new and it was interesting, and I think that's one of the things that made it a very enlightening experience for me, because it was just pure entertainment. So that is that. Now, the final thing I want to say to you guys is I too am an author, and I am releasing my first body of work June 15th of this month, and I implore of you, please, please, please go out and buy it, support it. It'll be on Amazon. It's $2.99, $3. Like, you know, it's cheaper than a value meal. So please go buy it June 15th, and I would so appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Have an amazing day. Be blessed. Peace.